As I promised, I am live here on JLJ Media YouTubes. I am here. It is Christmas morning, and I said I would come on for a little bit. Some folks asked me if I would come on. I guess why not? We'll see what happens. I'm gonna set the chat room because I have some chat folks. I don't know who's gonna come on. Everybody comes on here. I'll be on for a little bit and see what happens. I'm not with my family, so that's why I'm here. I know some people are not with their families. Something right there. So yeah, I mean, I'm here. I'm actually going to do a little bit of work. I know you think James is going to work. Well, luckily it's fun stuff. I'm going to work on uploading a show. I made some food last night. Opened a couple presents I had here. Flo Pizza got me this, the new Will Smith book. I'm very excited to read it. Will and I are the same age. I've been a fan of Will Smith since when he was just a rapper. So I'm very excited to read that. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna do some writing today. I'm gonna do some watching some TV. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna do a little bit of everything. It's a beautiful morning. It rained last night here in LA, which I'm so happy. It never rains here in LA. So I'm very happy we got some rain. But I'm up. I've already had a couple of phone calls, but I'm just like, I'm going to get on, so see if everybody comes on with me. And I'm drinking his peppermint mocha coffee from Starbucks. I never make it as well as Starbucks does. I'm not really happy with it. I'm going to drink it because I made it. I don't waste coffee. You don't waste booze. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Sherry. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Sherry. Or Sherry. I should make something wrong. I should make it rhyme. It didn't work out that way. To you. Stuff there, yes. I'm here. I am awake. I can say, Kirsten, Merry Christmas to you. So you guys have good. You guys are ahead in time zones. Are you already? It's only 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock here. So are you guys having a good Christmas morning so far? I slept very well. My house was nice and warm. I just turned off my heater because I'm a little hot. The Grogu and I hanging out, and my black nutcracker over here hanging out. Later today, I'll probably talk to my kids and grandkids via phone. I'll get all these things via phone and FaceTime. I'm getting all these Christmas messages. I'll say Feliz Navidad to my Spanish-speaking cohorts. There you go. I think Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. I won't do it to you. I gotta take my probiotics, take my vitamin C. That COVID virus is running rampant here in Los Angeles. That's why I'm not with nobody. I'll just stay at home and be close to home. That's fine. I have some members of my family who became positive this week with the virus, so I won't be seeing them. So I'll just stay home today. I'm okay, actually. To me, Christmas is for the kids. It's always been for the kids for me anyway. I like Christmas, and obviously I have a whole career centered around Christmas. So clearly I like Christmas. Laying the dogs so my kids would go, oh, your kids aren't up yet? Okay. Oh, the doggy. I do miss having a dog. I miss my Scrabble. But you having a doggy. Texas Rangers fan, you're 2 hours ahead. So it's 10 o'clock, 10:15 your time. Thank you, Kirsten. Thank you very much. It'll be fine. I'm not sad or anything. I'm just like, you know what? It's gonna be nice to hang out. Kenneth Clark, you're on too. Hey, Kenneth Clark. So you guys are all soap fans, right? Yeah, I know you are. So I was listening to a soap panel. It's this whole thing called Spaces on Twitter. And I was talking to Tony more of this, actually. A friend of mine, both were on there. We weren't speaking. Well, he was one of the speakers who only said a few words, but I was just listening. And I've never done a Spaces. I've never listened to a Spaces before. It's my first time on Twitter. And it was a soap theme one. And I listened to these people. All the folks in the soap that were speaking, I know of them. I know who they are from online. None of them follow me. Well, no, I know they like back. One or two follow me. The rest don't follow me. believe it or not, there are a lot of folks in the soap world who don't like me, so that's fine. And I'm listening to them, and all these soap people don't personally know the soap actors, don't personally know the soap writers. I've never been on set to a soap. And I was listening to them, they have so much information that I know there were so many things they kept saying. I'm going, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's not true, that's not true. It was so, I'm like, my thought was that people, this is how rumors start, this is how speculation starts. People just say whatever they want, whatever they think it is, and put it out there. And it's like, it's not, I mean, where'd you get, and no one even checks sources, or they think they really do know that's the source. I'm like, I didn't try to get in on it. I left after a while. I couldn't take it anymore. I was like, that's just not true. And that part's not true either. And where'd you get that? I'm like, what are you talking about? I want a few ones who actually talks to the actors. I'm friends with the actors, all this stuff. So I don't know. I just think now it's all scary too. Kids are 22, 20, 18, and 7. Oh, yeah. You know, when they get older, they wake up later. Mm-hmm. You got some grown ass kids. Some grown children. You do. And 4 kids. That's a lot, girl. That is a lot. Hello, TT. Man, so it's just interesting to me, because I know all of us on here are soap fans, and and it's like there's some things that are public knowledge that come out from the horse's mouth, and they tell you exactly what's going on. There's some things like we don't know. Also, a thing I thought was very interesting too is intolerance. A lot of these people on this panel, are screaming for justice and tolerance and all these things about certain soap actors and all this stuff. Yet they're very intolerant and closed-minded on what they see what's going on. It's just very interesting. I'm just like, it's almost like you're the same as them, man. You're doing the same thing that they're doing. Tony Moore on Dish Days always says they always open arms. I'm not so much open arms completely. I'm like, I'm kind of like this. Tony's like this. I'm like this. I'm like this. No, I'm like this. Where, yeah, some things are kind of, like I said, when I was on here yesterday, I told you guys about some of the things that I felt, yeah, you're right, that is kind of effed up. There's some things you're like, yeah, and no soap is perfect. So no soap is perfect. All the soaps have room for improvement. That's what it is. They all have room for improvement, right? I mean, every soap has room for improvement, right? Do you have a favorite soap Christmas and soap family you would like to speak with? I mean, it's the Hortons. It's. I posted yesterday. It's always going to be the Hortons. The Christmas tree trimming, when they pull out the original ornaments every year. I hear they have those ornaments hidden in a safe somewhere. They pull them out, those boxes out every year, and to see Bo and Hope's ornament and Zach's ornament, and it's the Horton thing. It never gets old. I get a tear in my eye every single year. I'm watching the Days of Our Lives 38 years, 39 years. It never grows old for me. Never. It just never does. I think it's a great tradition. What Hortons are going to be there, but they always pan and show all the different past, or Mickey and Tom and Alice. I love it. It's maybe cheese to some people, but I think it's just, I like it, and it never gets old. I posted yesterday. So the Hortons, the tree trimming with all the ornaments. It makes me googly eyed every single time I see it, every year, all the time. I look forward to it every year. Usually it's Christmas Eve when they actually when the way it falls. So right before Christmas. I love it. It's one thing they have not stopped doing. The devil tried to stop it this year, but it didn't stop. So for me, it is. It's something that completely, Root King, I know you. Yes, I haven't seen you in a long time. So the fans asked me to come on. I know some folks are not with their families, or some folks are, or whatever. They asked me to come on. I said I'd come on for a little bit. I'm not with my family today, so I said I would come on for a little bit. I'm doing today. I'm working today. It's Christmas. I have no emails coming in. Nobody's be bothering me, be calling me. I made some food yesterday, and then I'll make some big food later. The Quartermain's pizza is fun too. That's a close second, but the Horton thing gets me every time. What GH family you spend Christmas, it would be the Quartermains. Because they bicker, they go back and forth, the pizza. That's always a fun thing. So that's I'm with Kim Clark. That's very easy for me. But I was hanging out, have my coffee. My mug says, naughty, nice, I tried. It's hitting the spot kind of, but it's not as good as it could be. My friend gave me the Will Smith book for Christmas. Can't wait to read it. He and I are the same age. I grew up with him, so I can't wait to read this. I'm very exactly can't wait to read that. Teresa Roundtree. Oh, hi. Don't know you. Congrats. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Yeah, I say Merry Christmas, folks. I'm not trying to be political or nothing. I just say Merry Christmas. I just do. Unless you tell me otherwise, I say Merry Christmas. I have friends who only celebrate Kwanzaa. They don't celebrate Christmas. I have friends who, of course, if they're Jewish, I know they're Jewish. I say Happy Hanukkah and all that. I know friends of Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't celebrate anything, so I don't say it to them. But if I don't know, in general, I still say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. That's what I do. I say it. I don't care. Mm-hmm. The Bold and Beautiful is always cute too. They always have Eric at the piano. They always sing songs. That's also a cute one too. But I had some problems with this Christmas episode. I had a couple of problems. So unfortunately, there's no shows. I may post a little something. Who knows? At some point in time about it. But I had a little problems this season. This one with that one. But yeah, Christmas is something that, on the soaps is great because they come into our homes and they're very good. They're part of our lives. So I think, which set on White House was your favorite decorations this year? Which set? I don't know. What's funny is I've been on the YNR set and it's so small. It's really small. Crimson. I saw Crimson Lights the first time. I was like, oh my God, it's Crimson Lights. It's tiny. It's tiny. It's not. It looks so big on screen. It's so small. It's so small. The Chancellors probably because they did a lot of Christmas stuff with the Chancellors because of the kids. And I just want to say, someone sent me a message this morning. The promo for next week, Devon asking for a joint custody. I told everybody months ago on my show, the Wine Army Spotlight, Devon wants that child. Quartermain to the hospital telling stories to sick kids. That's another one. That's another tradition too. They always have one of the older statesmen be Santa and read. And that's a good one too. Yeah, Dr. Hardy was the first one who started that, but then Alan Quartermain did it for a while. They started a tradition. That was a very cool thing. RJ and Rick are skiing. They're skiing. Yeah, it's kind of like they say, I know. Well, that's how I wish I could somebody home. Yeah, but the Bone Buell set's small too. The problem is these sets are really small. And some folks and a lot of some of these actors don't live in LA. They live somewhere else. And travel, as you know, right now, travel is crazy. I'm not getting on a plane nowhere in LA, in California, or the US. It's crazy. So this is 880 certified everything. I mean, here's the thing. I had to explain to somebody the other day. The soaps, I've already let go. The soaps of yesteryear are gone. I had to let that go. They're not coming back. The soaps, how they did things back in the day are done. It's done. It's over. The networks are so much about money and checks and balances and ratings and all this stuff. They're so focused on that they're done. The old way the soaps are done. So any tradition I still get, and even as a piece of it, I'll take it for some reason. Because I'm like, still at least they keep some continuity. But it's just the cast or the way they do casting is different. It's just the way everything I see. For me, I'm stuck in the 80s and stuff. I mean, I'm one of those people I'm old. I'm from the 80s. I'm from the 70s. I loved TV back then. Like that was something, it's gone. Do you have any Christian traditions? Well, not anymore. I used to. Okay, so one tradition in my father's family is Creole from Louisiana. And so we'd always have gumbo for Christmas. I could make it if I really wanted to. I'm too tired to do it. So I'm not doing it today. But I make game hens. I always cook Cornish game hens. I don't like turkey really so much. And everybody gets their own little game hen, like their own little chicken. But my kids are all, my first 3 grandkids are now basically grown. So the tradition usually was I go to Sacramento, stay with my daughter. She put all the gifts together at night. I drink, and then next morning wake up with them. I have a little baby grandson who's newer. So we haven't began tradition with him yet. This is his first Christmas. But today everything's gone because of COVID. Everything is thrown out the window. I was right about Tariah. Yes, I told you. Mm-hmm. And the baby making, but I know. I told you. I said that. I told you guys they're gonna do that. I think eventually they're gonna do that. But now some folks want Tariah. They want a Tariah wedding. So that's something also too. Yeah, the soaps from yesteryear are gone. They're gone. They're just gone. That kind of storytelling, everything is just gone. And I've had, as a soap press and as a person who does opinion television and recaps the soaps, I just, I've had just to kind of reconcile that and go, okay, that's how it is, and take what I can for what they give me. There are folks who just hate the soaps now, and I get some of the complaints. I totally get them. I mean, I have some of the same complaints. Then some I'm like, is that really a complaint? And there you go. And that's the thing. Texas Ranger fan is correct. I go back and watch some of the old episodes of soap. They're on YouTube. They're online. Someone today was bringing up, this should be Disney Plus. Them should bring all the ABC soaps. Here's the deal about that too. There isn't a huge demand for the old soaps, not in the mainstream world. There just isn't. Us, we want them. We like them. I miss SoapNet. I've said it so many times on the show. If I had enough money, I'd create SoapNet. I'd call it something else, but I'd create something where, like, why not? There's channels for everything else. Why not have a channel where you just show all the old soaps, mixed with new soaps, and mixed with maybe original soaps or soap things? I would do strictly soaps, not shows that are soap like. I would say whatever was called a soap, it would be soap. And I would have it just because. Why not? But there's no demand for it. Not really. There's demand for us. We're small section compared to the rest of the world. If there was a huge demand for it, there would be a channel or an app. I'm telling you, it would be. I mean, if there was a huge channel, it would totally be, and also the problem. And then the root keepers brings up a point too. What's about the soaps of yesterday and our stuff. Here's the problem with everyone. I always said I would never want to be a soap writer or producer, right? Because the problem with soaps is they've been around for so long. I filmed Films 55555. The problem is soaps have been around for so long that they did the successful thing they did was they created all these storylines, right? So there's a million possibilities now. Every soap, that's the 4 soaps that are on left, they each have a million possibilities. Each one has 5 to 7 different couples people root for. On General Hospital, there are Liaison fans. There are J-Sam fans. There are now Drew Elizabeth fans. Like there's some Sante fans. So Sam alone or Elizabeth alone are part of like 4 or 5 separate fan groups already. So that's something. So it's kind of like, where do you write to? Because they were so successful in creating these pairings, then like, where do you go with that? That's the problem, right? So everybody, because I do it for a living, everybody has an opinion about how the soap can be better. Everybody has an opinion about Y&R. Everybody has an opinion about Bold and Beautiful. Everybody has opinions about everything. So it's kind of like, I always tell people, you can't make everybody happy, so then who do you make happy? Some would say, well, the ratings say this. I'm like, how do you know that? How do you know that's what the ratings? Plus, as a writer myself, I wouldn't nobody tell me what to do. But you should always also see what the audience reaction is. You can't go by audience reaction so much, because 20 different people could watch the same episode and give you 20 different answers. So I always say, how do you do that? So it's this weird thing. Every once in a while, they'll hit something where everybody agrees. I think, and everybody in this room, if you watch General Hospital, do we all agree that Sidney Michaela as Trina was one of the best finds in years. I think she's one of the best actresses they've found in years. In years, she's so good. But then counterpoint on Bold and the Beautiful, I'm so happy they brought back the characters of Deacon and Sheila and Taylor. I know folks who hate it. I mean, I was like, I think it's great. But I know folks, I'm like, and for me, it's like, do you want to really sit around and watch Flo and Wyatt? I didn't. They were boring. I didn't want to see them. I want to see something exciting. But see, there's our thing right there. Then you got Billy. I'm not a Billy Lilly fan. You know, I'm just scared about them. But some folks would love them. I'm a Jack and Phyllis fan. There are folks who like Jack with like someone else and Phyllis with Nick. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it's one of these weird things where like everybody in the chat room could think 20 different things. So then how do you write to that? Yes, and on When Calls the Heart, same thing. Half the folks hated the choice she made, half the folks loved the choice she made. It was like, and so it even went the other way. But I'm saying, but every once in a while, a decision comes out that everybody is just like, yes. I think most folks, when they go back in time, they'll say the BJ Maxie Hart story. Everybody agrees that was amazing television. Yeah, Sydney's amazing. I think she brings something that we haven't seen in a long time. Yeah, Alec Baldwin. That whole thing is sad with that. And the whole thing is sad. I love it. Somebody else mentioned Knots Landing. Knots Landing is one of my favorite soaps of all time. I love Knots Landing. I watched it from all 14 seasons. I'm a huge fan. The reason why I'm not doing a Knots Landing after shows because my friends are doing it already, and I promised I wouldn't do it. I support theirs. But I have done crossover. I do a Dallas after show. I've done crossover episodes. I've done that. That's my way of getting into the Knots Landing world. But that's again, that's when things were slower pace, not as melodramatic. They really worked out storyline. For Knots Landing, once they brought on Abby, then it was all full steam ahead, just like on Dynasty. Once they brought on Joan Collins and Alexis, it was full steam ahead. So I as I say, it's just so hard to kind of. And people make these comments, well, they should do this. Well, they should do this. Well, they should do this. And I just kind of go back and forth going, well, what does 1R do? I mean, every once in a blue moon, now you know this, folks, I hate the character of Peter. Not a fan of Wes Ramsey. I've been very, very vocal about that for now a couple of years now at this point. I feel like just about everybody wants Peter off the canvas. I feel like it's one of the few things I think again, I think if you watch General Hospital, tell me if you agree with me. That's the point. I think we all want him gone. I feel like General Hospital is personally attacking me and going, haha, James, we're not getting rid of him. He'll be on here for the rest of your unnatural life. I feel like I'm going to die and Peter will still be on the show. It'll be 40 years from now. I feel like it's one of the few characters I think everybody agrees, just about everybody. There's a few fans out there, I know. But everybody goes, he needs to go. But he ain't going nowhere. Is there once in a while we all can agree on something? Folks are attacking, I've seen are attacking Marcus Coloma. They're attacking the Nicholas is acting, and I think it's fine. I don't know what they're talking about. And I'm not dumb. When I watch TV, I know actors, I know how to act. So I'm just like, I don't see what they're talking about. But they're attacking his acting. I think he's fine. I don't know why they're attacking that. We have Rukino, Not Standing After Show. Oh, where is it? Oh, it's called the Knots Landing Rewatch. They can find it wherever you find your stuff. Oh yeah, I do a Dallas after show. I'll have new episodes coming up in January. 5th season. There you go. And I wasn't first doing episodes. No, I was doing collectively. I talked about Pam. I talked about the Dream season, which was very controversial and ballsy. I talked about Who Shot JR. So I talked about the new series. So the new series I hated. So I talked about that. So I've been moving all around. But you can listen or watch all of them. But I think the Knots Landing was called the Knots Landing or KL Rewatch. I think. Like that. You're 10 years old on the Dynasty set? Oh, I love the new Dynasty. It just came back. I love it. It's the 5th season. I love the old Dynasty. The old Dynasty was the bomb. I was all about that. Yeah, I remember Wednesday nights at 10 o'clock. It was appointment television. Yes. Speaking. Oh, he's talking about the Alice. See, films about films. I've never seen films about films on here. How funny. Haha. Yeah. So, yes. So I don't know. It's just I'm watching soap Twitter and people on soap Instagram just go crazy, and everybody has their opinions. I'm just like, I don't know where do you go? They'll kill. Do you hear a song kill JR? I have it. I have several Dallas themed songs, the 45s and the albums in my arsenal somewhere. I would say I should put them out one day. Yes, I have. I have a Who's Not JR t-shirt. I have all kind of stuff. I was 12 years old. That was so big. I remember how big that was. That was a big. Hi, Joe Costanzo. Merry Christmas to you too. Yes, I know all this stuff. I watched Dallas the early years, the War of the Ewings, anything Dallas. I'm a huge Dallas fan. Dallas was the one that inspired me to write soaps and stuff. Oh, it's so quick to be Dicey Cast and all. That's very cool. You're 10 years old. That's pretty funny. Get to meet them. I've never met any of the Dynasty Cast. I don't know. I've never met any of them. I have a song that's Dallas inspired from the early years with Crystal Gale. It's a duet. It's Crystal Gale. I also said Ronnie Millsap. I can't remember it was somebody. I have that song too on a 45. That's how much of a fan I am. Larry Hagman has a song. I have that too. So yes. We talked about Knots Landing, Dallas, all those. So I do the Dallas after show. I do the Falcon Crest after show. I'm going to start doing the Dynasty 2, the Colbys after show. Yes, the Colbys. I'm talking about that one. Yes, the spinoff. I got great reception just for my little announcement, so I'll be doing that one next too. Pasadena. There's a lot of soaps that didn't. There's a lot of soaps that didn't make it. Titans, Pasadena, Central Park West, Dirty Sexy Money. There's a couple others I'm making out right now. Flamingo Road. There were a bunch that didn't make it. They tried, and some of them I actually liked. I'm sad that this last one, Filthy Rich on Fox, didn't make it. I thought Kim Cattrall was the bomb. I love that show. Went one season. That's it. That's it. For me, it'll be Dallas #1 always. Dallas #1, Not Saying #2, Dynasty #3, Falcon #4. Kobe's lasted this season. That's it. Season and a half. He was. Yes. I didn't watch Pasadena. I didn't watch any of those. Twin Peaks it was on some level, but Twin Peaks was I love Yellow Rose. I love the Yellow Rose. I forgot about that show. Oh my goodness. I love that show. I did. I loved it. That didn't last either. Twin Peaks to me, it's in a class by itself. It's very David Lynchian. If you watch David Lynch movies, you know what I mean. It had some elements, but it was very much its own show. It was the weirdest thing on television. I loved it. The new series, I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. What years now? Yes, me too. I'm watching General Hospital off and on since the late 70s. The Yellow Rose. I gotta write that down. Texas Radio, thanks for bringing that up. I was seeing, is that out anywhere? I'm like, I haven't seen the Yellow Rose. I'm like, I have not seen that in years, but I love that. I remember I loved that show. Oh, I loved it. And I was a huge, Melrose Place, 90210 fan. Models Inc. Do you remember that? Models Inc. was the spinoff of Melrose Place, starring Linda Gray. It lasted. We called it Models Inc. because it was bad, but it lasted one season. Yes, I'm gonna look it up. Do it anywhere. I'm like, I love it. Well, yeah, there were a lot of, in the 80s, soaps became really big. In the 90s, they tried to bring some back too, but then into the 2000s, Desperate Housewives came and blew everything off the water. That blew everything off the water. I mean, that just became. That was Desperate Housewives. Remember how big? If you were around, that show was huge. That show and Lost started the same season. I remember those were appointment television. Literally water cooler. I was at work literally around the water cooler, and we were talking about Desperate Housewives. Like everybody's on Desperate. But is it on YouTube? Okay, I'm gonna look it up. I haven't seen it in so long. But Desperate Housewives was the show. I knew straight men who were watching it, gay men I knew everybody was watching that show. That show was huge. But Twin Peaks was my thing. I had a big crush on Sherilyn Fenn. She looked like Madonna back then. And I had a poster of the Rolling Stone magazine with Machen Amick, her, and the other chick. They were all Laura Flynn Boyle in just tank tops and jeans, big 90s hair, all that poster. I had that on my wall. I was a huge Twin Peaks fan. I don't even started. After we go off, my friends would call each other. Be like, what did we just watch? It's crazy. Yes, Bone Beautiful's good. I know Bone Beautiful's good, Joe. It's really good. Yes, the apartment is exploding. Yes, the whole Kimberly. Wait, you guys, it's not that bad. It's worse. And remember, they didn't show it because there was that bomb in Oklahoma City happened. So they stopped it. End of the season. We didn't see the blow up. And then months later, at the premiere, they showed it. I remember that. I was an Ally McBeal fan. When I was out, I like Sybil. That show was good. You know, her and Christine Baranski. Yes, Peggy Lipton on Twin Peaks. She was part of the Mod Squad. See, I grew up with the Mod Squad. So I was like, she was part of the Mod Squad. Married to Quincy Jones. At one point, and her kids are all big now. Luke Perry. I've met Luke Perry. Luke Perry, before he passed, his kids and nieces and nephews went to the same school as my niece. Got to talk to him. He was a very nice guy. He was my age. Very nice guy. I was very sad when he passed away. I thought it was very sad. I know he was on Riverdale, right? He was on Riverdale, recurring on there. So I feel sad for him. Carrie Ann Moss was a model stink. She was. Yes, she was. I remember that. She totally was. Mm-hmm. She was. But sorry, Linda Gray. And I met Linda Gray. I just want her on my show now. I'm trying to get her on my show. But I have met her. And she was super sweet. Beautiful in person. Tall, beautiful. She called me honey. She held my hand. I was like, you are the best. She was the best. She was the best. I don't think anybody will get hooked on soaps anymore. I think at this point, to be just quite honest, every show's a soap when you think about it. Every show's a soap, right? They don't call it a soap, but they're soaps. Station 19, Grey's Anatomy, they're all soaps. They just don't call them that. CW's Dynasty, don't know why it calls itself a soap, right? I don't think we can get people into soaps yet. I think it's just folks who like it, and that's it. But possibly if you do people are into mysteries. There's shows all the time with mysteries. Westworld is one. Westworld. I wish I could interview James Earl Jones. We'd have a Luke, I'm your father, face off. We'll just do that. He's my idol. I'd love to interview him. But the whole point, I think there's a lot of shows out now that are mysteries. They're not labeled as soaps, and people get into them. So I think if you don't label it as a soap, people might get into it. If you label it as a soap, for some reason, just not. I don't think people are going to tune in. They will. You like my girl, Krista Allen on Bold as Taylor? That's my friend. I love Krista Allen. I knew she'd be fine. She's a great actress. I knew she'd be fine. Oh, I was a huge Heather Locklear fan. Sammy Jo Mantha, that was my girl. I love some Heather Locklear. The 8 Chocolate Mousse. Oh, I love it. I was so mad. I met Pam Anderson back in the 90s. She was great. She was very nice. I liked her. I was a big Pammykins fan. She is. Linda Gray is the bomb. She was super, super nice. She could. We were at a premiere thing, and she was in it, and she, Now you say Edge of Night, but when I say Edge of Night, Jodie Travis was Lori Loughlin, and I know Lori Loughlin, and she's controversially back on the show when Hope calls on GAC Family. So there's a connect. There's like a 3-degree separation for you right there. So I was like, Oh, somebody's saying. Who is the most famous person in my phone contacts? Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. James is like, for those of you guys who are listening to this later, I am I'm looking on here. Famous person. I got my contacts. I have a lot of famous. I got a lot of famous people on here. My phone. I'm looking. I'm going. Who's my most famous? Well, it's funny. Well, I guess. Oh yeah, I guess overall, I guess fame because I have a lot of people on here that I have their phone. Look at their photos right now. I'm like, who's the most famous? I'm looking. I'm like, oh, I've got. Well, I've got. I had that phone number. I have people. I have people. Well, like soap famous. I know all. You know. Yeah, I have a bunch of those people. But I'm like, yeah, famous. I'm like, I'm looking at you guys. I have some famous folks, and I'm like, think my most famous person. Um, I have. Oh, well, I have Henry Winkler's number. He's famous. He was the Fonz. He's famous. He's on the show Barry. So I guess I have that's one super famous person. Um, looking at some more. I see some people. I'm like, are they famous? Man, they're not. They're like famous in certain circles. So I have his number. I have some. I haven't gone to my phone in a long time. Like I have that number. Oh, I have that person's number. Oh, and I see people that also that passed away. I didn't clear out my phone. That's kind of sad. Um, I mean, Sean Kane is very famous for the most part. He's known for Karate Kid and all that stuff. He's a famous person. The phone number in my phone. I guess I'll just say, well, she's kind of was. And, I guess I'll just say, yeah, I'll say the Fonz. Yeah, I guess I'll say him. Um, as I'm going through, well, Maria Menounos, she's kind of known. I have her. She's known all over the place. I'm like, I'm like, I got a lot of phone numbers in here. I'm like, oh, I have Shirley Ralph. She's kind of famous. I have her number. I have a lot of numbers in here. I guess I have. Yes. Let me look up here. Yes, keep Taylor calm. I like that. But if she goes a little crazy, why not? But David Hasselhoff, that's funny. But that was hilarious. Yes, I know. I have a lot. I mean, that's good. I've never asked that question before. I have a lot of. Yeah, I have some folks in here. I have a lot of folks you guys would know. I have a lot of folks you guys would know in this phone. Yes. Um, yes. I guess I'm like, yeah. I know some DeBarges. I know a couple of Jacksons. Do I like Maria? Yeah, I think here's the thing about Maria. She was always kind to me when I saw her. She was always supportive of my career, very kind to me. The 7 years I was at AfterBuzz TV, and she would always come in and out. But when I was sick and she was sick, she actually gave me. I reached out to her and she actually got back to me and pointed me into a direction for some help. So I'll always be grateful for that because she did take time out to go, James, here's what worked for me. Check out this person. That was very cool of her. But whenever I saw her, she always give me a hug. We'd always talk. And it was there, never felt rushed. She would just like talk to us. And I think because I'm older and AfterBuzz, a lot of young people were there. I was one of the older ones. I was in my 50s. I was in my 40s and 50s when I got there. And so Tom Cruise. I don't know Tom Cruise. I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know him. So no, I don't know Tom Cruise. But yeah, no, but she's always very nice to me. So I have nothing bad. I have nothing bad to say about her. I mean, I really don't. Nothing bad to say about her. Now my experience at AfterBuzz, I have some mixed feelings about it. But AfterBuzz TV was a place that helped me grow this. I would not be here was for AfterBuzz TV. So doing this particular thing, I just wouldn't be here. So I am glad to be here for that. So I'll always have that. Yeah, Shirley Rao. Yeah, she just celebrated 40 years. She posted stuff on there. Shirley Rao just posted all this stuff about it. And I saw her. I like the girl, I saw you back in '84, back in the day, as Dina Jones. I saw General High. I saw the whole original thing. So yeah, it was good. The movie was fine too. It was fine. Eddie Murphy was good in the movie. So yes, that's good. Let's see how many minutes I've been on here. Let me see. I gotta refresh. Here's she posted stuff on. Yeah, okay. 40 minutes ago. Okay, we're doing good. But AfterBuzz TV was a place that was doing after shows that just no one else was doing it. James, what's the difference between popping up on your YouTube channel, AfterBuzz pay people? AfterBuzz did not pay us. They didn't. But the payment was in free studio space, free knowledge, learning how to produce. They were very open to us advertising our stuff. And see, on YouTube, I get paid for it. I mean, it's mine, and it's mine. Most stuff on AfterBuzz was created for AfterBuzz, so it's property of AfterBuzz. Where this is my network, so I started my own AfterBuzz basically, which is JLJ Media. So that's the difference. But no, they did not pay us. I never said anything before just because it was nobody's business. I was there, it was nobody's business. But it was a great space for us to learn how to do our craft. And they put us out there in the world. They put us all as hosts out there. So that's why folks like Tony Moore and Flo Boyce and Jack Farmer, they have their own networks because they started out in AfterBuzz and got a platform. Places like the Collider, there was the Stream, and AfterBuzz TV were places where you could go. I know the Stream would pay some people $10, I think, a show or whatever, just to kind of do that. Now, Frank Moran is Frank Moran's the reason I brought him to AfterBuzz. He is the reason he's at AfterBuzz TV is me. I put out an ad. So I was at AfterBuzz during Edition Days, back when it was just the Days of Our Lives after show. And I said, does that work for General Hospital? I said, no, if you want James, cast it. So I went out. I put an ad in Craigslist, you guys. I put an ad in Craigslist. And I got over 40 responses for co-hosts. And out of those responses, I picked 3 people. A couple others were backups. They were like, just in case these didn't make it. But they were Ladine Harvey, Lucretia Lyon, and Frank Moran. Lucretia knew about AfterBuzz, but I brought her in through the whole General Hospital thing. And to this day, Frank and I know each other about 7 years, and Lucretia too. So that's how that went. The no pay thing, I never had a problem with it because I had a job. So I had jobs and stuff. So I have a business. So I was fine. So for me, it was a lot of fun. Sometimes in Hollywood, you work for no pay. Sometimes in Hollywood, sometimes the no paid gigs are better than the paid ones. I have audio dramas on my network. I don't pay them. It's volunteer basis, but I'm giving them lead roles. I'm giving them roles to work on. It's giving you exposure. I've given some of my. I know. Thank you for supporting my Patreon. Everybody, I have a Patreon account. If you want extra bonus content, it's $5, $10, or $20. Go right ahead. Subscribe to my Patreon once a month. You pay once a month, and you get all kinds. I have a show on there that's not anywhere else. I put out songs, behind the scenes stuff. I have a lot of fun goodies that James Lott Jr. and my friends are on. So go to patreon.com/James Lott Jr. and subscribe. I always get to promote that. But Sheree, thank you so much for doing that. That's some good stuff. I have some stuff, Y&R stuff coming up too, Sheree, in 2022. But sometimes my actors, I get some of them press, I get some of them all this stuff. And actually they've been telling me while being on my shows, they're getting noticed and getting jobs that are paid. And any paid jobs that I hear about, I pass on to my actors. So sometimes it's one of those things where it's like you have to choose how much free you do, so it's not lopsided. and how much you try. Because I can be a background actor forever and only get paid $8 an hour and never be seen on screen. Here, you work for 1 hour a week, you get a lead role in a show. So to me, it's like it depends on you. What's the, you want credits, and then that's a better credit than background. I've done background. James, Lady Red Couture. Do you know her? No, I don't know who that is. And also AfterBuzz. AfterBuzz was like college. AfterBuzz was huge. There was over 400 people that were there. I knew many. I didn't know all of them. Especially towards the end, there were so many people I didn't know who they were. A lot of them knew who I was. I was one of the OGs of AfterBuzz. I didn't start AfterBuzz. There were folks that were way before me. Tony was before me. They were before me. But I was there long enough, and I was one of the few hosts, producers, that had a show on every network they had. Book Circle Online, Black Hollywood Live, and Popcorn Talk, and the regular main channel. I was everywhere. Yeah, I didn't do Drag Race. So I know, of course, I know Mark J. Freeman, Lorraine Love. That's my buddy. Because we did days together. So I knew him. I know Jackie B, because I did Under the Dome with her. But I met some of the other co-hosts over the years. But I don't. And the stream, we didn't really follow the stream because that was our rival. The stream was our rival, so we didn't look at their stuff. I was very loyal to AfterBuzz TV. The Collider too. I didn't look at their stuff either. Now I look at all their stuff now. Yes, he does. I know he does. Yeah. The Black community, is there a Black community in West Hollywood? I'm not part of it, so I don't know. There's a lot of us who don't go to West Hollywood, people of color who don't go to West Hollywood or Hollywood because it's very racist, in my opinion. So I don't go there. A lot of us don't feel comfortable there and not feel welcome. LA is a huge place, as some of you may know. There's other places in LA that we go. They're elsewhere, but West Hollywood is considered like the hub, the mecca, the center. I wish it wasn't. In my opinion, I have no problem speaking out on that. I'm not part of that community. I don't claim it or anything. So for me, nope. Almost all of my friends don't go there. I go there maybe once a year to support Tony Moore, who works at Mickey's and has nights there. I'll support his nights every once in a while to support my friend. But I don't go there anymore. It's not for me. And I haven't found, the communities, and it's just the Hispanic and Black communities of the LGBTs, QIA plus community, it's very divided. So I don't know. Did you have to go on air right after watching an episode of something? I don't know what that means. Bye, Cherie. Have a good New Year. Good with the kids. It is. It's a shame. It's a shame. Because I remember when it was, because so folks understand this, West Hollywood was incorporated in 1984. It was made into a city. I remember I was living here in LA. I was a teenager when it happened. Unlike in San Francisco, they have the Castro area, which is very similar, but they didn't make it into its own city. It's just part of San Francisco. They made West Hollywood its own city. And it's supposed to be a safe, I assume Tony and I we talk about it ourselves all the time. We talk about it, but I'm sure he's talked about it. I'm sure, maybe on something. I'm sure he has. But it's very much. But then Tony and I also two different generations, and we have different viewpoints on things sometimes. Let's see what you say. I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. You have to go right on. You have to go on air right after watching something. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes we'd have to watch the show first and then go on air. They almost preferred that. I like to watch my shows at home, privacy in my own home, do all my notes, get everything ready, and then come in. Many shows I did, I was the lead host, which was much more work than just being a co-host. So yes, and AfterBuzz had a schedule. It was just like, bam, it was mass production, bam, bam, bam. So that's what we did. But a lot of times for my shows, if I had a chance, I'd watch them separately at home. I have a DVR, so I can DVR everything, and I'd watch it at home. And that answers your question. Answer your question. I forgot what I said. Yeah, West Hollywood. So it became a city, did all that. It was a mecca for gay people. And for a while it was. My first job was in Hollywood, West Hollywood. I worked at the Hollywood YMCA back in the 80s. And that's when AIDS was big. And I remember everybody was dying. So it was a very different feel. But I'm telling you, I've been home 13 years next month. And it's when I first came home, it was fun the first couple of years. After that, I was like, yeah, it's not fun anymore. And more of my friends of color have been saying the same things. I've seen things that are just not good at all. At all. Not good. Everybody should be treated the same. That's just how that is. Everybody should be treated the same. People should be treated differently because of their color. And you would think, because you're already an otherized group, that you wouldn't otherize people. But what you learn is, some cases, it's the regular world is otherizing me. So now I have powers to otherize others, to make myself feel good in the real world. It's a vicious cycle, makes no sense. It makes no sense. It just makes no sense. I've been around, I'm 53 years old almost, and I've been around. If you could write or create for any soap, what soap would you choose? Not Standing or Dallas. That's an easy question for me. One of those two. We want to be one of the two. It is. It's just tough. I mean, we do, as Black folks, we do it. As Hispanics, we do it. I'm part of all those communities, and we always still rank within the ranks. I don't want to get to on my soapbox. It's just one of those things that it's sad. We also have the pain Olympics. My pain is worse than your pain, and your pain is worse than my pain, and my pain is worse than their pain. Like it's just not good. So I think we have to kind of look at that. So we should all have communities and feel safe. I've never been to Fire Island. Never been. And my family's in New York. I've never been. Never been. I've always wanted to go, and I've never been. Yeah. So, but I know San Francisco, lived there. That was crazy for a while. I know Pittsburgh. I know New York. It's proper. But and that's like I said, and Sacramento. I know those. That's about it. Oh, and Ohio. I know some Ohio places in Ohio. Other than that, yeah. I'm happy to be in California. I mean, out of all those places, I'm happy to be here. But we're not without our problems, obviously, at all. And we're a big multicultural city, but it's tough. It's tough. Well, humans by nature are herd people. We like to be part of tribes and herds. And especially, I would say this with Black and brown people, we come from tribes. I always want the village. I always want the village since I came on these 7 years ago. You're all part of my village. We're all part of the village. All of you, no matter who you are, you're all part of the James Lott Jr. village. And so that's how we naturally, right? We naturally want to be part of something. It's kind of that's how you feel. So I'm always about that. Always about that we're part of the same village, but we come from that. So but then we also, that in the same token, we're also cliquish. We're also good about making our click over here, and then went over here, went over here. If you think differently than I do, it's crazy. I know films. Yes, but again, I think it's just generational trauma, systemic issues. When we had this talk yesterday, films and Texas Ranger, all that yesterday about the whole General Hospital had no Black people in their holiday promo. Like, how do you have this huge Black cast? How do you not have them in the promo? It's weird. It's just weird. But like I said, they didn't think about it. They probably just didn't think about it. It's not there on their thoughts, because most of the bosses are white. So why would they think about it? Yet on Bold and Beautiful, they showcase all their folks on there. Why not? You may say what you want about them, but they have a diverse cast. I mean, you know what I mean? It's most kind of things. You're like, Days shows it has their Black folks front and center right now. So it's like, but for many people, if you don't think about it, you don't think about it. So I don't always think it's an evil plan. Sometimes I do, but not always. Sometimes I think it's just if you don't have to think about it, you don't think about it. You don't think about it. It is. It's just that's what it is. I just think people need to stop all of this. Sorry, I'm saying a text. Um, I am. I mean, here's the thing, kids. Here's the thing. I came to this business in my late 40s, fully formed, knowing who I am. So I'm completely who I am. I didn't come to this business broad-eyed and bushy-tailed and like, oh my God, I want everything. I came in going, I'm happy to be here. I'm just happy to be at the table. I'm just like, I'm here. I'm considered an old guy in this business. I'm happy to be here. And I have a fully formed life. I have kids and grandkids. I have businesses. I'm like, I came into it for fun. And so for me, I have nothing to lose by being real. There are folks who don't like me. There are folks who have dropped me. And I'm like, screw it. You know. Um, I can get totally serious. Trust me, I can get real serious. I've had some fucked up shit happen to me, excuse my language, in my life. That I have talked about. I mean, over the years, I had my brother died, and my grandmother, my dog died. I got a severe case of Bell's palsy, was paralyzed for a year. There are several things I've done. Every once in a while, I've cried on TV. I mean, I've done all that. But for the most part, I'm here for entertainment. I'm here to entertain you. That's kind of how it is, right? I'm here to entertain you guys. You guys have so many. Thank you for everybody who's watching right now. There's so many choices. You have so many choices on who you can watch and spend your time with. Now, you don't have to hang out with me. You don't have to you don't do me any favors. You don't owe me nothing. But the fact that you do makes me happy. So my thing is, I need to get back to you. And so sometimes I tell the truth also at the same time. I'm gonna bullshit you guys. I'm telling you what my truth is and what I see. And that maybe gives you a chance to think about it for a second. Either you agree or don't agree. You can think about it for a second. Maybe James is right, or maybe James isn't right, or maybe I see it differently. But I decide to give it to you. It's just how I am. I've always been, I know the word real kind of bugs, but I've always been real. Because I just feel like I'm at this age where I don't care. So I don't. And also just, tell the truth, shame the devil. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Satan is not welcome here. No, 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 not at all. Are they powerful Black? Yes. Well, there's many, but like Black network owners, Byron Allen, who I met. I love him. He gave me great advice about my network. I look up to him. Of course, Tyler Perry. My girl, Tasha Whitten Griggs, still at TV One. Oh, there's a bunch. There's a bunch. Yeah, so I like that. That's great. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, I am. I am in Hollywood pushing my. They say I'm the most famous, unfamous person in Hollywood. I know a lot of people, folks. Trust me, I know a lot of people. I do love what I do. Films, I love it. I'm having a good time. I love this business. I have books. I got music. I got everything. I mean, I'm doing it all. And if people look at me like, who are you? Like, where'd you come from? I have a lot of friends in this business. I have some enemies in this business. I don't care. I get it. I mean, this is what it is. It's only what it is. It's life. Life in the big shitty, as we say all the time. It's life. The world is weird. The world is crazy. The world is everything. But I'll tell you, I've had some wonderful experiences. And I'm fully Black. I'm who I am. I mean, I'm other things in biologically, but I'm saying I am Black. I am who I am. I have my hair is crazy, whatever. I don't care. I am just like, this is who I am. Take it or leave it, folks. Take it or leave it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And I think if more folks were like that, we'd be a better place. and have really good work out there. There's a lot of crappy work going out there too. So I don't mean so shady, but there is a lot of crappy work out there. So I mean, yes, we gotta be careful with that too. I am going to, let's see, I'm refreshing. I'm gonna see how long I've been on. You know what I mean? And okay. I'll answer a few more questions and then I'm going to go off and have Christmas. Okay. Do you watch Survivor Amazing Race? Love Amazing Race. It's coming back. I was curious how they're going to do this with the whole COVID situation. Love Amazing Race. That's my favorite of all time. I watched Survivor for about 16, 17 seasons or cycles. And my friend was also on Survivor a few seasons ago, Lauren Ashley Beck. So I don't watch this anymore. But I was watching the other day. I was watching all the blind sides. It's kind of crazy. Do you ever get annoyed as I do when I see a black brothers being all Pollyanna and Disney about what's really going on? Well, here's the thing. Again, I go back and forth. I think first of all, publicly, I don't shame or bother any of my other brown brothers and sisters. I just don't. That's just my thing. I don't do that. Maybe privately I might do it, but publicly I'm always supportive of anybody brown who's not crazy, of course. I support all my brown folks. I feel like everybody has their lane, right? Everybody has their lane. So I will never tell people or what they do. I think everybody has their part. If it makes any sense. My part is I'm older, I've been around a lot longer, and I'm unfiltered most of the time. But there are folks who get mad at me because of my soaps. They don't think that I'm not hard enough. But that's not my lane. I'm not different. To me, that's not what I do. I'm not here to. I don't hate the soaps. Like there are people who hate watch soaps. I don't do that. I tell you what I think, but I don't need to go hard. Every once in a while I do. I don't. But I just feel like everybody has their lane. So there are folks. I have friends who are totally. They're out there every day they're just pushing the buttons. So I support them. And then I have friends who they do it in their personal life, but professionally, their brand is positivity, joy, and surface stuff. So I support them. The fact that they're on camera or on screen, to me, that alone is like I get points. More brown faces, I just get. I'm all about let's get them on there. More LGBTQI plus faces on there, just to get them on there. More Latino faces, more Asian faces, more women in charge. I support everybody. I'm like, let's get them. Let's get it on. We need to make it normalized that we're all on here. But I feel like everybody has their lanes. So some folks go hard all the time. Some folks go soft. So I don't get annoyed. It doesn't bother me. I don't have when the whole Black Lives Matter thing happened. The only times I get annoyed are when you present one thing sometimes, and you don't present it all the time. You'll be like, I don't want to get shady. It's Christmas. I'm trying to get shady. I have a friend. I'm not going to say any names. I have a friend who, and I can't do it. I can't get shady. Okay, I'm not going to be shady today. I'm not going to do it. But I'll give an example one day. Maybe another day I'll give you an example of what kind of bothers me. But there are a couple of things that bother me. But for the most part, no. I'm just like, it's not your responsibility. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to comment on this. You don't have to comment on that. But there are folks I know who do, and I look to them. So, but anybody brown, I do not down. Any women, I don't down. I just don't. Anybody of the disabled community, I don't down. Like, if you're out there putting out content, whatever it is, unless it's not crazy, trying to hurt people, I'm on your side. I'm on your side. Because there's levels to everything, and we each can play our parts. Again, where's the community? If we have a community in the village, everyone plays their part in the village, right? And so it uplifts the whole. So some of those soap fans who pointed out that there was no Black people in this, or why is there? I'm like, I like that because I didn't see it personally at first. Now you point out my attention. I agree with you. It is kind of a problem. So I'm glad you whistleblowed on that. Someone was saying on Bold and Beautiful, all the Black characters are propping up the white folks. Right now, it kind of seems that way. Yes, I did look at that, but now I kind of see it a little bit. So now I'm like, okay, so now my attention is, so you brought that to my attention to look at. So that I'm like, that was your part. Everybody had their parts. So that's what it is. If you want to hear more real talk, folks, I have a show called Coffee and Conversation with James and Melissa. It comes out every Monday, new episode out Monday. And me and my friend of 20 years talk about everything. So you can get that on any streaming platform service, audio, or YouTube, JLJ Media. You can listen, you can watch the episodes that have been out. We talk about, and Tony Moore is on several of them. Tony Moore is on two of our highest rated episodes here on JLJ Media. It's called Coffee and Conversation with James and Melissa. And Tony and I and Melissa have real talk. We spill all kinds of tea on those episodes. And Flobita also another one. We have real talk on that one too. So we do real talk. I do have shows where I do break it down. If you want to check out my Black Hollywood Live Breaking Into episodes where I talk black, I'm being funny as I say that, of course, those things talking black. But that you can check that out too. I'm with black artists talking about black issues. And I'm proud of that show. 4 seasons. I won an award for it. I was nominated again this year for it. I love that show that I did. And there you go. That's that. Everybody have a great Christmas, rest of your Christmas day and weekend. And be as safe as you can. I know the world's going to hell in a handbasket, but please be safe as you can. It's a crazy time period, especially with this whole, I keep calling it Omarion or Opticon variant. If I got to figure out how to do that. I don't have the same setup as AfterBuzz does, so that's why none of our shows we don't have call-ins. We just have the chat room. But one day if we can figure it out where to work into the system, then we'll do that. We'll do that. Okay, everybody. Have a great Christmas. Feliz Navidad from my Latino brothers.